In this video, I am going to provide a crash course on stockcharts.com. This is for people who are considering subscribing to stockcharts.com. And I would say for beginners and intermediates of stock charts, boy, that's hard to say, stockcharts.com, who have had it for maybe a year or two or three and are just scratching the surface regarding how to use it. And actually, now that I think about it, even if you are a long-term subscriber, you might stick around and watch the video because maybe, even if you just get one or two tricks out of this video, I think that would be worth your while. Let me show you. I've made a little agenda. And by the way, my name's Joe. I am a professional full-time stock trader with 29 years of trading experience, and I have been a subscriber to stockcharts.com for, gosh, I don't know, 20 years or something. So let me tell you what it is. Then I'll share a toolbox metaphor. I'm going to just show you where you can find my previous videos on stockcharts.com, show you how to make lists, briefly show you the annotation function, show you candle glance, show you the screener, and show you ACP. And I'll try to get this done as quickly as I can. And so just to take note, I've made 3 videos on this platform already: how to use the annotation tools, how to measure percentage depth, and how to use candle glance. So I'm not going to cover these in depth because I already have, and I will try to remember to put the links to those videos in, let me put them in the comment section of this video. And one great thing about stockcharts.com compared to some of the other platforms that I subscribe to, like Market Surge or something, it's quite, I'm not sure if I'd say cheap, but affordable, right? As you can see, basic plan is only $15 a month. Pro plan is $40 a month. Now, so what is it anyway? This is a portfolio management tool, stock portfolio management tool, a charting tool, a tool for doing technical analysis, and some light fundamental analysis if you really want to get deep in the weeds regarding balance sheets and opinion articles and stuff. Then you're going to want to check out my partner Seeking Alpha Premium, link in the description below, and or Market Surge, which I'm not partnered with, or other platforms. Now, the way I think of stockcharts.com is it's like having a huge toolbox in your garage. And when you work on your car, you take out and you use a few of those tools. You don't use every tool all the time, and there are some tools that you actually very rarely use, but you're glad you have them. Same thing is true for stockcharts.com. Even though I've been using it for many, many years, there are some features that I very rarely use. I probably only use about 50%. Yeah, maybe I use 50% of the features every day. Let's see. I'm going to show you. Let's jump right in now, and I'm going to put this on my second monitor so I don't lose track of what I'm doing. So let me jump ahead to my favorite thing. My favorite thing about this platform is I think it has the prettiest charts available. The colors are very customizable, all sorts of different colors and styles. You can do all sorts of annotations. As you can see, this is just a fraction of the annotations that are available. Like I said, I'm not going to go over the annotations in this video because I did them in that separate video. But trust me, the annotations are amazing and so much better than Market Surge, which I have told Market Surge year after year after year, and they just ignore me. Okay, it's hard to even know where to start with this because there's so much on this platform, but we're going to try. First of all, you'll get alerts on stocks on this banner up here, and then you can also pull up your alerts. If you scroll down on, this is the dashboard. If you scroll down on the dashboard, here's where your alerts are. You can make a new one here. You can view all of the alerts here, a bunch of alerts that I have running. And if you want to set an alert, like let's say we want to see when Tesla's going to make a new high, all we need to do, its high today was 322.21. right click, create alert. We could put an alert at the new high, or if we want to make an alert when it's going lower. By the way, I'm going to try to go fast in this. Of course, you're welcome to pause it or rewind, and because it's going to be a little bit complicated if you've never used this thing before. Let's see. So here's your dashboard. Here's the different strong industries of the day. This is important, advancers versus decliners. You can see how many stocks are advancing versus declining. The advancers dominated today, which is great to see. Some of the large cap market movers in the different indexes here. You can do some different things with this little box here. I'm not even going to go into that, or this video is going to take forever. One of the greatest things about stockcharts.com is your ability to create lists and organize lists and go through lists. Here are the lists that I've created. I've made 241 lists. Here's all of the New York Stock Exchange, 950 stocks. Here's a focus and watch list. Here is, I'll just pick some at random. Gold stocks, 85 gold stocks. The banks, oil stocks, aerospace. And I'll show you how to make these lists. Well, you can certainly just make a customized list. You just go new, type in the list, type in the symbols, and whammo, you've got your list. The other way you can do it is you can pull them off of the screener, which I'm going to show you. I'll show you that next, okay? But the amazing thing now is once you have these lists made, let's just look at the New York Stock Exchange. 948 stocks in there. We can go to the summary. And here's the summary. Now we can organize it by industry. Here's the aerospace first. We can organize it by market cap. We can organize it by... This is a proprietary ranking, stock charts technical... stock charts technical rank. It's kind of like relative strength. It's a little more nuanced. You can look it up if you want to. And here they are organized by that ranking. And then if you just click on the name and if you hold down Control, it'll open them in separate windows. And so sometimes I'll go through like that. Another thing you can do is pick chart list view, like so. And now you can just roll through them with your scrolling mouse button. This is a great way to do it if the list is pretty short. If it's a long list, I generally use Candle Glance. You go Candle Glance, and I have a whole video on Candle Glance, so I'm just going to burn through it right now. You go View as Candle Glance, and then you can adjust the parameters. I do 6 month, organize it by relative strength, strongest stocks first. So now out of all 1,000 New York Stock Exchange stocks, here are the strongest performing stocks right now. And we're probably not going to buy these today. These are going to be good watch list stocks. But then as you scroll down, maybe you'll start to see some good setups. Let me see. I don't want to spend too much time doing this. Here's an interesting setup, kind of a high type flag. So now we can hold down Control, click, and open it in a new window tab. MasterCard set up pretty nicely, and you can fly through these really quickly. CAE's got some potential, and then you can look at it. Oh, that is strange. Is this a buyout or something? Maybe that's getting bought out. And now you can annotate it. You can move it to a different list, etc. And conversely, you can look at the weakest stocks in a particular industry. Maybe you want to short these. Primarily shorting. So you can use your list in so many different ways. Portfolio, focus list, watch list, industries. Let's say you heard on the internet that gold stocks were rolling over. So you can look at your gold stock list. I'm going to do Control F here. Wait a minute. Actually, I don't even need to do the find function. Here are my gold stocks, so I can open it up. And let me just do Candle Glance real quick. Let's just see what they're doing. First row looks like they're popping up. That's actually a pretty good setup there. CEE. And then as we scroll down, so it looks like once we get about halfway through is when they start to roll over. So about half of them are still set up pretty nicely. Now let's say you haven't made a list of gold stocks yet. How are you going to find that list? Well, all you need to do is go to the scanner here, right here, and you go new scan. I call it a screener, but stockcharts.com calls it a scanner. Now there's all sorts of ways you can use this. I could do a half-hour video on this, but one thing you can do is, here's all the indexes and ETFs, so you can make a list of the S&P 100, the NASDAQ 100, the Dow, New York Stock Exchange, like I said, and down here's the industries. Maybe you want an entire sector, like consumer discretionary sector, or maybe you just want to see all the footwear stocks or all of the aerospace stocks. You just go add, and then you go run scan, and there they are. And then you can save this into a chart list and then use those different functions that I showed you. And one thing you might want to do with your portfolio for yourself or to show others is annotate these stocks. And like I said, this is not an annotation video, but there's so many things you can do. This is obviously, here we got a double bottom. Wow, sorry, I'm having trouble there. Double bottom going on, double bottom with the handle. You can use, you can measure like that. You can also right click and, sorry, we got to save this. Here, I made a whole different video on this, but if you right click, you can measure the depth of things and you can measure the number of trading days, like so. All right, I'm trying to keep this under 15 minutes. The last thing I want to show you, there's so much more to this. You could make hours and hours of tutorials on stockcharts.com. This says I've only been a member for 8 years, but I quit. I let my subscription expire for a few months and just tried to use Market Surge and Seeking Alpha, but I missed it so much that I rejoined and I've been back for 8 years now. But I think, boy, I don't know. It's been maybe 20 years or something since I started using stock charts. The last thing, sorry for the tangent, the last thing I want to show you is ACP. So these are, when you're not in ACP mode, you are looking at, what can we say, static charts. So you can't just zoom in and out. You can make these boxes over here. Here's the 1 year, here's the 5 year, here's the 10 year, here's the 20 year. You can also mess with it down here. And oh, by the way, there's so many different oscillators, indicators, overlays, simple moving averages that you can put on your charts. I could go over the ones that I put on mine, but not in this video. Now, ACP. So ACP, you can zoom in and out. This is great for when you want to do a historical study. You click on ACP. Let's say you want to study, I don't know, Amazon's IPO base and maybe what it did during the .com crash, etc. So here's the 1 year chart of Amazon on ACP. Now all we need to do is scroll with our wheel and we can zoom out. And suddenly, instead of seeing 1 year, you see many years. And then we can take our mouse and we can drag it like so. And in this manner, we can get in the Wayback Machine and go all the way back to 1997 when it IPO'd. And then we can start zooming in. And here we see that IPO base, stair-stepping bases, and then ultimately we get kind of a double top here and roll over into the .com crash. And of course, you can annotate ACP just like you can on the regular platform. I'm going to wrap it up here at 15 minutes. If you decide you want to subscribe to stockcharts.com, I would really appreciate it if you would put my email in the referral box, joe'sinvestmentexpress@gmail.com, no apostrophe. That will get me a free month subscription if you do that. And you're welcome to email me with questions, or if you want to talk further about stockcharts.com. And of course, you can put a comment or a question in the comment section. Lastly, I do have a portfolio and focus list that I show every weekend to my Patreon members. You might want to check that out. I'll put a link in the description and comment section of this video. Well, let me know what you think about the video, and if you are a stockcharts.com member and want to share your opinion or talk about any other features that I did or didn't cover, feel free to add to the discussion below. And yeah, when I get time, I will make some more in-depth videos on other aspects of this platform, but I think this gives you a decent little overview. I'll see you in the next video.